Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn, Supportive Oracle Cards, The Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, which is a very attractive box, I must say. For some reason. All right, Virgo. 1, 2. This is it. Okay. I almost went back for more cards, but I was getting, no, leave it alone. So, well, you have a really good ending. So let's see where this is going. You have a really good ending. And you got the Two of Swords here. I feel like that's already saying, like, what's going to happen. You just got to kind of get through it. It's after this happens, dealing with what comes next. Just keep that in mind. I don't think this is going to be bad. I actually feel like this is going to, like, I think it's going to go really well. You have a really good ending. So let me just get into it instead of just alluding to that. Really good ending. Okay. You're starting with Turkey and Justice. Now, when I feel Turkey here, what does it say? Give with gratitude and grace. I mean, that's fine. I'm kind of feeling more of like that out of place. For some reason, it feels out of place. It feels like, you know, almost feels hunted a little bit. But Justice is telling me kind of like you're out there, you're a little exposed, and I'm feeling hunted. I'm an intuitive reader, so in case you're wondering what I'm going for, I am feeling hunted with this. Like somebody's like tracking me down. But also by somebody tracking me down and looking for me and trying to confront me, I feel. It's kind of strange. I feel like that actually is going to move this in my favor. Like Justice coming into this is saying somebody trying to track you down as if they want to confront you is actually going to work in your favor. Whether it works in the other person's favor or not, I feel like that's subjective. But it seems like it's going to go well for you because you know what you've done, you know where you stand, and you know what to say about it. So if somebody wants to call you out, I'm here all day, all night. You know what I mean? That's what I'm feeling with that energy. Like, you got to call me out, bring it over. Because I didn't do anything I'm not proud of. So there you go. One moment. Sorry. Some days that phone just goes on and on. Not afraid of it. Not afraid of it. So that's where we're starting. Now, what comes in next is somebody with a very flashy attitude. This says, embrace the in-between. I'm feeling with Flamingo more of like a very flashy, it's kind of like a social clique. It feels like a social clique, like somebody's in this social clique. And they're feeling very proud about this. I'm also getting like they're thinking you're going to want to be a part of this. And they're just kind of waiting for you to approach them. So how is this you're hunted then waiting to be approached? Somebody's coming towards you and they're like starting a situation. They're trying to get your attention. They're calling you out on something, but you didn't do anything. So it's kind of like, I'm here all day, all night. You need to say something, say it. So this is where it starts. This same person who called you out comes down here, but they also feel like they're in a position. They feel like they're in a position of clout. I'm really feeling it might be more imagined. Like, they might think they're in this position of clout, but it's kind of like, oh, I don't want to say something rude. How do I say this? It's kind of like being head bottle washer, if you know what I mean. I've heard that in the past, like, you know, it's kind of like everybody's got a crappy job and you just have the best of the crappy jobs. That's what this person is, like their head bottle washer. I don't know. I hope that doesn't sound rude, but that's what I'm feeling. Like, they think they're like, hey, look at me. And you're like, you're not that impressive. Calm down. It's got a little bit of sass to it, too, with the Flamingo. It does have a little bit of sass to it. I'm seeing you look at this situation and you're just kind of like, it's not, like whatever the group is here, it's kind of like it would be nice to have some friends, but at the same time you're like, they take themselves, or this person at least who's kind of trying to pull you in, they take it more seriously than they really should. So you're kind of like, this could go well. I don't know if I want to be a part of this or not. It's not as esteemed as other people think it is. And it might be just the way you're looking at it, kind of like, listen, as long as you're in this group, you have maybe some power, but once you take them out of that group, they have nothing. And it's kind of like, that's transitory. You're not really impressed with this person, but you're at the same time, you're like, you're not looking to make enemies or anything like that. It's kind of like, it's nice to be looked at, it's nice to be wanted, but at the same time, you're kind of like, this is kind of a smoke and mirrors situation. It's not as important as they want to make it out to be. And you're seeing the truth of it. Because the Empress is very smart. She sees above the situation. She's like, I'm looking over here. I see what this is actually made of. It's nice, but it's not the end of the world. This isn't winning the lottery over here. It's not that special. I feel like there's a little bit of a rude energy here with it. I don't know why. But it's almost like somebody's punching themselves up like, ooh, I'm here. Like, you're so lucky to be around me. And you're kind of like, you're okay, but let's not get crazy. For them. So you're watching this. The wheel is turning in your favor. But exactly how that's happening is kind of interesting. Because it's turning in your favor, yet at first it doesn't seem like it, is what I'm getting. Because all this is happening in the environment. There's a lot of work going on. A lot of people communicating what needs to be done. There's a lot of... I feel like it's one of those things where there's a lot of managers and no workers. And there's this person here who's dictating the situation. Somebody's telling other people what to do. You're watching this from the outside. This is like fate going in your favor, but you're not realizing it when it first happens. There's some type of disruption around you. There's a big disruption. You're not a part of this at this point. But this person, somebody's pushing in. It doesn't have to be female. It could be male, female. Don't get caught up in the gender. But this one person is pushing on these other two people. This one person is causing these other two people who seem to be strong, making them do all the work, while this other person just holds to the side. And they're all kings and queens, I'm noticing. So again, like everybody's like, there's all managers and no workers, which is causing managers to be the workers at the same time. It's just kind of weird. I'm getting at this point, like, certain people are not happy with this, and you can see people involved in the actual group are not happy, and you're not really sure if they're just going to go along with it or if they're going to walk away from it. You're also realizing as you keep watching this, if you weren't aware of it before, you're aware at this moment, this is normal. This is the commonplace how this works. This one person tells the other two what to do, they do it, they don't like it. I don't see anybody walking away, but there's like this facade, like somebody's going to walk away. There's this unhappy energy, this little grumble feel here. And it's the norm. This is not new. This is not changing. This is literally fate going in your favor because you're seeing it and you're getting the highlights, kind of like before you go over there and befriend some of these people, see what's going on over there. And I don't think you want this. You're kind of looking at this like, you know what, I think I'm going to go elsewhere. There's something good here. It's not that great that you need to deal with this ridiculousness. So you're going to walk away from this. Now, the best part's coming. You're walking away from this. Now, you walk away from this situation, I really feel like this is the best part. Somebody else who has also passed on this, it feels like somebody else has passed on whatever you're talking about. They're like, they were approached or kind of considered being a part of whatever this was. They saw it for the truth too, and they're like, no, that's not for me. So somebody who had a very similar response that you did. They're going towards you. You got the Queen of Wands with the Sun card coming in. Somebody else is offering you something better, but they seem to understand what you've already gone through or what you've observed. They seem to very much understand what you've observed, and they're like, you know what? I like the way you handle yourself. I like the fact that you don't waste your time on things that don't deserve your time. This is literally what this person is impressed with. They're kind of like, yeah, that's how I handled that. You did the same thing. I think that's the smart move. And you know what? I'd like you to be a part of this with me. Somebody's offering you something. This has the Star card on your side, which is telling me you don't have to take this, but it may be in your best interest. What you got to do, and I feel like this is the whole thing about this reading, what you're heading for, this person, you got to look at how you get along with this person. How well do you get along with this person? Give yourself some time, but which is natural for Virgo. But during this moment where you're giving yourself some time to mull it over, try to research and understand this person better. Understand like how they live life, because the Queen of Wands is usually a fire energy. Fire and Earth don't usually get along all that well. They're both good people. It has nothing to do with it, but they have different philosophies for life. This is quick, fast, let's make quick changes, let's move on. Virgo's usually more stable, let's hold on, let's do what we know, let's build a structure and stick with it. So they don't usually mesh in the same way. Nobody's a bad person here. Everything's cool, but I'm just like, you want to research this person, even if it's Facebook or seeing like things they've done and talking to people who they work with or people who they know, understanding what they're really like. It's not a negative thing. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, their philosophy, their way of life, the way they go through the current of life is different than mine. And you might not want it. That's not going to be true for everybody. Some of you are going to see that, yeah, there's some spontaneity with this person, but they always stick to the main structure. You got to go and look through it yourself. Because some of these people you're going to come across, some of you who come across this person, they're going to have some spontaneity to them, but it's always coming back to the same core situation. Like, they have this base that they keep the same. They try a little different over here, but they always come back to the same. There's like this solid center. You know what I mean? But they try some new things. That might be more conducive for you. You might be okay with that. So you got to research and decide if this is something you really want. This could be a really great thing for you. Whatever this person is offering you, it's legit, it's honest, it's got a really good potential with it. Just you want to research it to see how well you fit, how well you feel yourself, how you feel you fit in it. If you feel confident with it, go with it, because it's usually Virgos get involved in something and they stick with it for a long time. So that's kind of like they're saying, before you get involved, it may be just the point of like seeing this person for who they are, accepting them for who they are, and getting yourself situated to handle that going into it. If you go into it and you're blindsided, that could create a bad moment that you might have a hard time moving on from. But if you see them, oh, there's spontaneity, they got some spontaneity there. Since I see it, I can prepare myself for it. I can do this. I can be happy with this. But if it catches you like blindside, that might kind of ruin the situation for you. So they're like, research this person. It may just be that you need to know what they're like. That's all, just so you can prepare. But it's the Sun card. It's a really good ending. A really good ending. This is a good opportunity. Before I repeat that another time, I think I'm going to shut that down there. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.